Golden Axe was released for the arcade in May 1989, with home ports for the Mega Drive released in Japan and North America in December 1989. Those in the EU had to wait until November 1990. A Master System and TurboGrafx 16/PC Engine version was also released in 1990. Golden Axe is one of those games that can be replayed over and over and is a very fun two-player game. The graphics are good, the music is awesome, and the gameplay is simple but engaging. That's it, Golden Axe as a game is just a classic, great game. Now let's talk about the confusing as hell box art of the different games. So here's the characters. You choose one of three warriors: Axe Battler, who must live at the gym and the steroid factory as he's always looking totally jacked. He has dark hair, uses a broadsword, and wears blue underpants with blue boots. Tyrus Flair wears a red chainmail bikini and has a sword, while the last character, Gilius Thunderhead, has a green sleeveless dress thing with a horned helmet and a golden axe in the arcade version, but a steel axe on the Mega Drive version. Here's where the confusion starts. The golden axe is the name of the game, but is that Gilius Thunderhead's weapon, or is that the axe held by the king and his daughter, who in the game are kidnapped by the main antagonist Death Adder? I always thought that Death Adder used the golden axe, but in some information the axe is not a weapon. Instead it grants the user immortality, but I've never seen this mentioned in the game. This would make more sense, as a golden axe would not be a durable or practical weapon. Being a ceremonial or magic item would make more sense. The manual states that the object of the game is to rescue the king and his daughter and retrieve the golden axe. If this is the case, then why does some of the variations on the box art show Axe Battler with a golden axe? If we look at the original marquee art, Axe Battler has a golden axe but is riding on one of the beasts in the game with a pretty good likeness, with Tyrus riding a dragon. If the artist knew this level of detail for the game, why get Axe Battler's weapons wrong? The original ad for the arcade version has an accurate depiction of the three characters, although the art style is not the Conan the Barbarian style seen in other iterations of the characters. Gilius here clearly has a golden axe, so is this the golden axe? It's unclear. The box art for the Japanese Mega Drive version looks fantastic. It was drawn by Yoshihashi Yoneshima, who created other iconic Sega box art covers for games such as Bare Knuckle, Alien Storm, and Golden Axe. This is excellent, the bright and vibrant wash colour, the characters look amazing, and very much in that 80s video game box art style. The characters are accurate apart from Axe Battler's hair, which is blonde for some reason, and Gilius's axe looks more like a normal steel axe now. There is also artwork on the back of the box, which is awesome. This is the best artwork for Golden Axe. We have the three characters, the giant turtle, the giant bird, and Death Adder. This is definitely Golden Axe. Some of the other covers could be any generic fantasy sword adventure, but this is definitely done by an artist who knew the game. The front cover artwork for the Japanese Mega Drive is the same image used for the EU release, although the colour is less bright. It is zoomed in and looks more like a low resolution image. The US cover for the Genesis version has what I assume is Tyrus Flair's dragon special ability, spraying fire onto Tyrus and Gilius. Tyrus has black hair here, and it is not a good likeness of her in comparison to the other game covers. Axe Battler looks nothing like his in-game character. He has a blonde mullet and is not wearing blue. Gilius also is not in his green outfit, although he is riding a dragon. The middle guy has to be Axe Battler, but how did they get his weapon wrong? It looks cool, but if you actually look at the three characters, they're all about to be burnt alive. Perhaps the artist was given instructions on what to draw without playing the game. This may have been a common occurrence, as the game may not have been completed when the box art was being designed. The EU Commodore 64 cover has even more detail from the game. This was drawn by Dermot Power, who is actually coincidentally from the same town as myself in Ireland. Power is quite a famous storyboard film artist and began his career penning for British comic series 2000 AD. We have a good likeness of Axe Battler, but he looks really ugly. In comparison to the EU and Japanese Mega Drive version, he is still totally steroided up, but he looks weird. This is perhaps in the style of 2000 AD comics, which Powers drew for. It also includes one of the Bad Brothers, but look at his weapon. This is the worst sledgehammer I've ever seen. I could draw a picture of a sledgehammer right now that would look more like a sledgehammer, and I'm not an artist. Axe Battler is also fighting one of the female characters who you encounter in the game. She's also riding a dragon when you encounter her. This level of detail leads you to believe that the artist either played the game or was given pictures of the first level bosses and the second level boss, even though the second level bosses are just the normal enemy characters. I am inclined to think that the artist played the game, as there is also one of the blue pots you get in between the levels. Apart from the back cover of the Japanese Mega Drive version, this is probably the most faithful cover art as a representation of the game, as it includes a good likeness of Axe Battler and 2 enemy characters. No sign of Tyrus and Gilius, however. The Sega Ages 2500 cover art has one of the most accurate artwork depictions yet. In fact, the Japanese art seems to be the most accurate all round of the 3 player characters. It has Axe Battler, this looks like him, Tyrus, this has her red hair and white bikini, and Gilius is wearing his green outfit. It also has the giant bird you ride upon. The artwork for the mobile phone release again goes back to the 80s hair metal version of Axe Battler with the blonde mullet, but it is an easily recognisable piece of the 3 main characters. The PC Engine Japanese version does not mess around trying to draw Axe Battler or get mixed up. It's just a screenshot of the title screen, the Japanese characters representing the word Golden Axe. Not much to say about this one. Very little effort put in. Quite disappointing. There is also many fan depictions online, however one eBay seller is selling a modern replacement cover art which features Tyrus and Gilius and leaves out Axe Battler altogether. In fact, I always choose Tyrus in the game, so she to me is the main character. In most cover art for the game, it's Axe Battler who seems to be the most focused upon. This looks accurate, but the faces are not what I would envision the characters looking like. The Master System version just goes for Axe Battler without his necklace, but with the correct weapon, and the skeletons and dragons are there also. There is a castle on fire in the background for some reason. This is not a very artistic picture, but at least it's accurate. Once we get to Golden Axe 2 on the Mega Drive, we have a similar artistic style of the 80s barbarian, almost Baroque art style. This was painted in oils by Boris Vallejo, a fantasy artist from Peru, famous for the National Lampoon's Vacation movie poster. We have the same image for the EU and US versions, although it seems that the US version is brighter than the EU version for some reason. Almost as if the printer that was used in the US version was better quality than the EU one, but who knows. It's accurate for Axe Battler, apart from his sword. It looks more like a gladius, a Roman or gladiatorial sword, as opposed to Axe Battler's normal broadsword. Gilius is wielding a small golden axe also, so at least the size of the weapon being smaller than the in-game weapon is consistent with both main characters. Gilius is also not in his traditional green outfit. Tyrus looks very faithful. Her sword is a one-handed, maybe falchion, whereas in the game she has a two-handed longsword. It is hard to tell as the logo is covering it. At first glance it looks good, however on closer inspection, Gilius is standing on a rock in grass while Axe Battler is wading through water, whereas Tyrus is riding a very large dragon. Are they all actually beside each other or are they in different locations? It seems unclear. The Japanese Golden Axe 2 cover art is bizarre. We are back here to the artist not playing the game or getting basic details of characters really wrong. Strangely, Axe Battler is wearing his shoulder gauntlet, which he wears in the game, and this is not in the EU or US cover, so they get that right. But the huge blonde hair is totally wrong. Similar to Axe Battler, Tyrus has a huge head of blonde hair. Gilius is fairly accurate, but if he was not here and it was just Axe Battler and Tyrus, then you would have no idea this was Golden Axe. The back of the Japan box, however, has some great artwork with a lot of the enemy characters. How did they get the enemy characters right but mess up Axe Battler and Tyrus so much? It's baffling. As in, it's not as if they did not know what the characters might look like. Golden Axe 2 is so similar to the first game, they may as well just use the characters from the original to create a visual representation of the characters in the second game. All in all, I think the best artwork is the original Japanese version with the 3 characters, the turtle, the bird and Death Adder in the background. This image gives you the sense of adventure that the game presents.
Here comes a new challenge!